system that Vietnam developed requires very sophisticated data. Actually, after the project, many donors support transport sector in Vietnam, including World Bank, ADB, JICA. These are the main donors. JICA also bring 2 million, 3 million US dollar consultant to help. But the problem is that the data required to run the system very expensive. When the project finished, Vietnam RVN, they just not continue because they don't have budget to hire consultants. And with that, in 2000, I think in 2012, we arranged the sharing experience with Laos and Vietnam. Delegation from Ministry of Transport of Vietnam visited Laos, and they talk about how road management system work in Laos. Laos counterpart informed Vietnamese delegation that Laos, with support from Swedish Sweden and also World Bank, prepared provincial road management system, and then they show the delegation what type of data required to run the system. It just rely on very simple way, not require very expensive consultant to collect the data, and not require very expensive, sophisticated technology. And Vietnamese colleagues said, "Oh, this is what we want to have." And they invite Lao team who involved, together with the consultant who involved in the system development to Hanoi to make the workshop presentation. And then in 2007, actually Vietnam, they adopt that system. Now they call VPROM, Vietnamese Provincial Road Management System. This is now used nationwide. And World Bank also support what we call LISAO. Actually based on the LISAO base. So now the system has been used, and it has been used to plan for a medium-term expenditure and also annual plan. The key success is make it simple. If we aim to get perfect, accurate, it will fail because of the capacity of the staff. You also have program with staff turnover. After staff get trained, after a few years they move elsewhere and somebody else come, and then they have to learn again. And also budget, after the project finished, there is a need to allocate budget for the data collection. The system is okay, system is there, computer is there, but if no data, and the system cannot use, and then if system cannot use, so it just become computer or just paper. So this is what we need to bear in mind. And I actually talked to Lao counterpart and also the team here. Lao counterpart is happy to join, to learn from Cambodia, and also Cambodia colleagues can also learn from Lao. We just maybe find some time with fit both counterparts, then we can arrange discussion, sharing experience. I think that covers, right, Enrique?
Yeah, also a little bit, how long did it take for Laos and also maybe for Vietnam?
Actually, for the
what the role was from the provincial.
Actually, what I presented, in the case of Laos, there are two systems, one for national road, similarly to what Vietnam do for the national road here. And another one is from provincial road management system. In Laos also similar here, about 7,000 is national road, and then 40,000 is provincial district road. As I said, they could not afford to collect the same sophisticated data as national road, right? So in case of Laos and Vietnam, actually Vietnam Laos we just copy the software. It's no license needed, right? They just copy the software and they just add some element just to be fit Vietnam context. You don't need to buy software. You just just copy it and just and then train people and collect the data and use it. So it's very simple. Yeah. So and then you just enter the data. Here I already have administrative data, right? For everybody. Just add that function but with support from World Bank, we actually mobilize IT consultant to help Vietnam team to modify or to adjust to Vietnam context. It's not expensive and it takes just a few months to start, right? And then and the pilot with a few provinces with the training and few data collection, and then less than a year they expand to 7 provinces, and the second year I think to 24 provinces now they have used nationwide. So it's so but again I would like to highlight key to success is to make it simple and to make sure that the staff who receive training is continuing. In case that that person move elsewhere, the newcomer should receive training before that person leave the organization. Otherwise, it's the same. So if that is okay and no more question, I would like to talk a little bit on performance-based contract. So, any comment on the road asset management? And yeah, please. Helicate what I do here from ministry and from provinces. Maybe too fast, or maybe I'm not sure if you get what I presented. Any view? This system have been developed here before in Cambodia. How about provincial colleague? How you see this system? I understand that now you collect the administrative data, right? You collect data of the road, right, from A to B, and you have GIS data, you have the width of the road, you have the type of road surface, but you don't have road condition yet at this moment. Any challenge that you foresee to have road condition data for the rural roads? Anyone from road department or?
Hello. បាទខ្ញុំមិនមានសំណួរទេគាត់នឹងចង់បញ្យល់បន្ថែមតិចទៅលើសេចក្ដីទាំងពីរទៅលើបងវាសនាហើយនឹងសម្រាប់តាមពិតអ្វីដែលរោគរសិទ្ធិនេះគាត់បង្ហាញហ្នឹងគឺបើយើងបញ្យល់ឲ្យងាយទេយើងនិយាយថាក្នុងនាមជាអាជ្ញាធរផ្លូវថ្នល់ណាការគ្រប់គ្រងអាសិតហ្នឹងគឺគ្មានអីវាយើងនិយាយថាយើងត្រូវដឹងថាស្ថានភាពផ្លូវយើងហ្នឹងវាយ៉ាងម៉េចក្នុងពេលបច្ចុប្បន្នហ្នឹងយ៉ាងនិយាយថាផ្លូវនៅខាងក្រសួងអភិវឌ្ឍជនបទយើងមានប្រភេទ T1 T2 T3 ដល់ T4 ណាបាទអញ្ចឹងអាហ្នឹងយើងប្រភេទផ្លូវហើយក្នុងប្រភេទផ្លូវមួយទៀតមក T1 ហ្នឹងយើងត្រូវដឹងថានៅក្នុងអាផ្លូវដែលប្រភេទ rural road ដែលកម្រិតថ្នាក់ទី1ហ្នឹងតើវាមានប្រភេទផ្ទៃក្រាលយើងហ្នឹងស្អីខ្លះហើយក្នុងផ្ទៃក្រាលមួយហ្នឹងប្រមាណកស៊ូយើងមានប្រមាណថាឥឡូវដល់បាន 1000 គីឡូណាក្នុងស្ថានភាពបច្ចុប្បន្នថាវាលក្ខខណ្ឌល្អហ្នឹងប្រមាណលក្ខខណ្ឌមធ្យមហ្នឹងប្រមាណលក្ខខណ្ឌខួរដែលអន់ហ្នឹងប្រមាណហើយនឹងអាហ្វែលហ្នឹងប្រមាណតើយើងដឹងអាហ្នឹងបានយើងអាចធ្វើផែនការទៅឆ្នាំក្រោយបានបាទហើយអាហ្នឹងខ្ញុំនិយាយថាអាប្រភេទលេខ2ហ្នឹងក៏យើងត្រូវដឹងលក្ខខណ្ឌហ្នឹងហើយអ្វីដែលយើងអាចដឹងបានគឺមាន tool គឺ inventory ហ្នឹងហើយប៉ុន្តែតាមខ្ញុំវិញហ្នឹងបច្ចុប្បន្នហ្នឹង inventory របស់ road inventory របស់ក្រសួងអភិវឌ្ឍជនបទហ្នឹងអត់មាន condition នៅតាម កំណាត់ផ្លូវមួយអត់មានទេបាទទៅផ្លូវដូចជាមានដាក់តែមួយទាំងអស់ប៉ុន្តែយើងការផ្លូវមួយខ្សែហ្នឹងវាដូរទៅចឹងគឺថា connection វា short មួយទៅយើងមានទៅសរុបទេបាទផ្លូវមួយខ្សែ10គីឡូអញ្ចឹងទៅដាក់តែមួយយ៉ាងពិតវាអត់ចឹងទេណាក៏ពោះផ្លូវវាយើងអត់មានដែរចឹងមកថាការងារហ្នឹងហើយត្រូវយើងត្រូវមើល update ជាបន្តហើយយើងបន្តប្រមូលហើយក៏ពោះផ្លូវក៏សំខាន់ដែរយើងការនៅគម្រោងនេះយើងតាក់ទងទៅនឹងរឿងdisaster risk management កាលយើងនិយាយ disaster គឺបញ្ហាចម្បងគឺទឹកហើយដើម្បីឲ្យអ្នកវិច័យទេសអ្នកវិស្វករខាងគេហៅខាងជំនាញខាងទឹកណាខាង hydrology ហ្នឹងគាត់សិក្សាឲ្យត្រឹមត្រូវបានហ្នឹងគឺគាត់ត្រូវការ data ចម្បងពីរណាទឹកភ្លៀងឲ្យគាត់អាចរកបានងាយទេប៉ុន្តែអ្វីដែលអត់មានហ្នឹងគឺគេហៅ 3D terrain model សំយើងអត់បានមានទេយើងមាន data ដែលធ្វើដោយខាង US Army ពួកអាមេរិកធ្លាប់បានធ្វើចែកការក៏ធ្វើប៉ុន្តែចន្លោះរបស់វានេះគឺ10ម៉ែត្រជាគេមកកងតួខ្សែកងតួមួយឬកងតួមួយហ្នឹងដែលយើងមានបច្ចុប្បន្ន10ម៉ែត្រយើងយកទៅសិក្សាអាកាសនេះអញ្ចឹងបានថា data ផ្លូវដែលយើងcollect ហ្នឹងណាបើសិនជាយើងបញ្ចូលកម្ពស់ផ្លូវយើងអាចចង់និយាយថាខ្ញុំជឿថាគណៈខាងដែលខាង GIS គាត់អាចមានវិធីដើម្បីនឹង build គេហៅដែលប្រើ primary data secondary data យើងមានដើម្បីជា first step ដើម្បីគាត់ build 3D ហ្នឹងដើម្បីគាត់សាមញ្ញទៅថ្ងៃក្រោយទៀតអញ្ចឹងបាទរឿង inventory ហ្នឹងវាបំពេញទៅឲ្យរឿងវិស័យផ្សេងទៀតច្រើនណាHM4 វាជា tool មួយដែល World Bank គាត់អ្នក support development ហើយដោយលោកវាសនាបានវាមានប្រសាសន៍ចឹងថាវាអាចធ្វើរឿងធំពីររឿងធំមួយគឺគេហៅយើងអាចរៀបចំជា national strategy budget ហ្នឹងកាលនៅពេលដែលយើងដឹងលក្ខខណ្ឌផ្លូវយើងមកផ្លូវយើងមាន4ប្រភេទចឹងយើងដឹងលក្ខខណ្ឌគាត់នៅក្នុងកំណាត់ section មួយហ្នឹងអាណាល្អអាណាអន់ហើយយើងត្រូវ set គេហៅ maintenance strategy ផ្លូវប្រភេទទី1ហ្នឹងបើសិនបើវា good អត់ចាំបាច់ធ្វើអីទេព្រោះផ្លូវនៅល្អដល់ពេលវាខួរយើងត្រូវ plan ហ្នឹងស្អីទៅដើម្បីយើងធ្វើផែនការចាយលុយហើយអាផែនការហ្នឹងយើងយកទៅ run របស់ HM ហ្នឹងដើម្បី HM វាគាត់ HM ហ្នឹងជួយយើងឲ្យដឹងថាអូខ្សែផ្លូវយើងមកនេះហ្នឹងដើម្បីឲ្យថាឲ្យថែរក្សាលក្ខខណ្ឌវាឲ្យនៅល្អដូចឆ្នាំហ្នឹងឆ្នាំក្រោយនៅល្អទៀតគឺការលុយប៉ុណ្ណេះយ៉ាងបាទហើយមួយទៀតគឺកម្រិតកម្រោងគេអាចធ្វើការ cost benefit analysis តែកម្រោងនីមួយៗគេតម្រូវឲ្យធ្វើព្រោះយើងខ្ចីលុយមកពីគេយើងត្រូវយើងត្រូវសិក្សារកថាលុយដែលយើងយកមកហ្នឹងវាបានចំណេញលើការប្រាក់លើអីដល់បាទខ្ញុំសូមចូលរួមយោបល់ប៉ុណ្ណឹង
បាទសូមជម្រាបសួរហើយសូមគោរពអាដាមលោកស្រីហើយខ្ញុំបាទឈ្មោះភ័យសបោមកពីខាងក្រមសារប្រព័ន្ធផ្លូវជនបទសួររបស់ជនបទខ្ញុំបាទសូមចូលរួមជាចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍ក៏ដូចជាសំណួរមួយចំនួនពាក់ព័ន្ធជាមួយនឹងបទបង្ហាញរបស់លោកសម្បត្តិជាមួយនឹងលោកវិស្នាចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍របស់ខ្ញុំតកតងជាមួយនឹងប្រព័ន្ធដែលបានបង្ហាញនេះខ្ញុំចាប់អារម្មណ៍ខ្លាំងហើយវាមានលក្ខណៈបច្ចេកទេសច្រើនហើយមានលក្ខណៈគេហៅថាគ្រប់ជ្រុងជ្រោយច្រើនហើយបើប្រៀបធៀបមកជាមួយនឹងប្រព័ន្ធគ្រប់គ្រងទិន្នន័យផ្លូវជនបទនៅក្រសួងអាបត្តិជនបទវាមានលក្ខណៈខុសគ្នាច្រើនដែរហើយជាផែនការនោះក្រសួងអាបត្តិជនបទក្រុមថាប្រព័ន្ធនោះយើងមានផែនការក្នុងការអភិវឌ្ឍ system របស់យើងឲ្យវាមានភាពលក្ខណៈគ្រប់ជ្រុងជ្រោយដែរហើយជាចំណុចមួយទៀតដែលលោកកក្កដាក៏បានចូលរួមមកទៅប្រភេទផ្លូវភេទអីហ្នឹងក្រសួងអាវ៉ាត់ជនបទសប្តាហ៍ថ្ងៃនេះក្រុមសារព័ន្ធយើងខ្ញុំនេះគឺធ្វើការងារចម្បងធំចំនួន2ធំទី1គឺយើងផ្ដោតលើការស្រង់ទិន្នន័យស្ថិតិផ្លូវជនបទដែលមាននៅក្នុងតាមផ្លូវជនបទតាម25វិទ្យាខេត្តហ្នឹងហើយទី2គឺយើងធ្វើបច្ចុប្បន្នភាពផ្លូវតាមប្រភេទកម្រាលអញ្ចឹងយើងមានកម្រាលរហូតដល់9ប្រភេទកម្រាលแล้วเนาะដែលយើងបានធ្វើការអាប់ដេតចូលក្នុង system យើងហើយផ្លូវជនបទសប្តាហ៍ថ្ងៃយើងមានរហូតដល់ទៅ44,888គីឡូបើគិតគូផ្លូវទូទាំងប្រទេសវាស្មើនឹង 74% នៃផ្លូវសរុបចឹងមានថាផ្លូវជនបទយើង dominate ទៅលើផ្លូវទាំងអស់លើផ្លូវសរុបក្នុងបាត់ហើយអញ្ចឹងកិច្ចការច្រើនសម្រាប់ក្រុមសារព័ន្ធដែលក្រសួងអាវ៉ាត់ជនបទត្រូវធ្វើនោះគឺ យើងទី1គឺយើងមានផែនការក្នុងការ update system របស់យើងណាប៉ុន្តែគ្រាន់តែការអនុវត្តការងារឬក៏ដូចជាយន្តការបច្ចុប្បន្នយើងមានការលំបាកខ្លះទាក់ទងជាមួយនឹងលទ្ធភាពនៃការអភិវឌ្ឍក៏ដូចជាលទ្ធភាពថវិកាជាដើមហើយចំណុចដែលខ្ញុំចង់សួរមកចំណុចដែរទាក់ទងនឹងសំណួរលោកស្រីអេរិកគាត់បានសួរទៅដែរតែខាងគាត់តែបានឆ្លើយទាក់ទងជាមួយនឹង involvement របស់ provincial level ខាង case study ខាងឡាវហ្នឹងក៏ដូចជាវៀតណាមហ្នឹងតើ involvement ឬក៏ participation របស់ខាង provincial level ឬខាងកណ្ដាលឡាវហ្នឹងតើវាយ៉ាងម៉េចគឺចង់ learn ពីចំណុចនេះជា lesson learn ដែរបាទនេះជាចំណុចជាសំណួរបាទហើយជារួមបើសិនជាអាចទៅរួចខាងខ្ញុំឃើញជា case study ខាងគាត់និយាយមិញហ្នឹងបានន័យថាខាងឡាវយើងមានជា system ប៉ុន្តែវាមិនមែនជាលក្ខណៈ license ទេប៉ុន្តែបើសិនជាអាចទៅរួចខាងក្រុមខាងខ្ញុំនឹងបើសិនជាអាចសុំជា system ហ្នឹងជា software ហ្នឹងដើម្បីយើង install យើងអាច learn ពីចំណុចហ្នឹងបានហើយយើងអាចឃើញចំណុចខ្វះខាតឡើយណាខាងក្រុមការងារនឹងសិក្សាអំពីលទ្ធភាពនៃការអភិវឌ្ឍ develop system របស់យើងឲ្យទៅឲ្យមានភាពគប់ជោគជ័យដែរបាទនេះជាចំណុចរបស់ខ្ញុំសូមចូលរួមប៉ុណ្ណេះបាទសូមអរគុណ
Thank you for comments. Yeah, so it's no problem. You can get software from ministry. When I go back, I can talk to the ministry, and we can arrange a study tour, and maybe the person who run the system can also we can ask him to come here maybe just for a few days for a week to help you to work with the system. So it should not be any problem with that. And then we also have project in Vietnam. We can also even organize 3 country learning event, right? Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia. We can learn from each other that how Vietnam start when they look at the system, and then now Cambodia can also come into the picture that how Cambodia can learn from the experience that Vietnam take this system from Laos and adapt to Vietnam. I think our colleague in Vietnam also very happy to share. But to have 3 countries, it may take more time. But for Laos and Cambodia, we can organize quickly, provided that both counterparts are available. We can work out on timing, right? Delegate. So we can do that. So should not be any problem. Yeah. So you highlight about the complexity of data. I fully understand. You have 40,000 kilometers. You cannot afford to hire consultant. Very expensive, right? And this type of road, rural road, you don't need perfect data. 70%, 80% of accuracy is sufficient. That's why it's back to what I said. World Bank developed free app. It's named Road Lab Pro. You can go to Apple shop and then you just download, and then you can try on the way back home. You just attach it to your car, and then you just press. You see you can measure the roughness. Actually, I learned this when I attended meeting in early March in Washington. So the colleague who developed this I don't remember, Ukraine or somewhere, developed in that country. After that, they other colleagues in other countries to use. So they just drive around Washington. Then they show us how it works, and then it can measure the roughness. It's not 100%, 80%. It's good enough. And then you just upload it in. When you have internet, you can upload to the system, and then the system, and you, and you just upload into the system, and the system will analyze exactly like what Vesna presented, but the accuracy maybe just 80%, but that is good enough for rural road. You don't, because the traffic volume is different from national road. National road you have more than 10,000 vehicles per day, right? For rural road you have maybe just 5,000, 2,000. But also the network is very large. So we cannot afford to have sophisticated. So I can show you how it works. You just download it free, then you just attach to the car and you drive and you can measure the roughness. Actually, this roughness will tell us the road condition. For non-technical person, the roughness is about the road condition. If the road in perfect condition, goes smoothly, if you sit the car you feel very comfortable, roughness is 1. But if the car is, if it's very bumping, so roughness is very high. You see, it can be like 5, 6, or 7. So meaning that you feel that there's a lot of pothole, right? So this one, actually, this is roughness index. Is the indicator is developed globally and used as an indicator to measure the road condition. So this app is free app developed by World Bank, can be used for free, and so we can build that into the system. Yes, Vesna, please.
អនុញ្ញាតខ្ញុំចូលបន្ថែមបន្តិចទាក់ទងទៅនឹង comment របស់សម្បត្តិក៏ដូចជាសំណួររបស់លោកមកពីក្រសួងអប់រំបាទជាការពិតហើយគឺថាតម្រូវការរបស់ស្រុកយើងគឺមានច្រើនពេកវាយើងមិនទាន់បានគិតពីរឿងការថែទាំជួសជុលទេយើងគិតពីរឿងរៀបចំប្រព័ន្ធវិញរឹតតែស្មុគស្មាញតទៀតអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំចង់ចែករំលែកបទពិសោធន៍ទៅក្រសួងសាធារណការដែលគាត់កំពុងធ្វើសប្តាហ៍ថ្ងៃណាបន្ថែមពីលើរឿងជួសជុលថែទាំគាត់បានបែងចែកការងារគាត់ច្បាស់ឧទាហរណ៍ថាបើ overloading control ណាគាត់ប្រគល់ការងារនោះដាក់ទៅឲ្យ ADB មកតែបើ road asset management គាត់ប្រគល់មកឲ្យ World Bank តែបើរឿង standard ហើយនឹង bridge maintenance លក្ខណៈគាត់ប្រគល់ឲ្យចែកការអាហ្នឹងនិយាយរួមគឺថាការងារបន្ទាប់បន្សំបន្ថែមពីលើរឿង maintenance ហើយនឹង reconstruction of road អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំថាជាការល្អដែរបើសិនជាក្រសួងបែងចែកការងារពីព្រោះតម្រូវការយើងច្រើនហើយ donor នៅពីក្រោយខ្នងយើងក៏កាន់ច្រើនអញ្ចឹងយើងបែងចែកទៅថាឥឡូវខាងណាជួយខាងអីឲ្យប្រកបទទួលខុសត្រូវថាដែរ overloading control ទៅអ្នកនឹងមានបញ្ហាតាក់ទងនឹង overloading ត្រូវតែលោកនឹងឬក៏ក្រុមនឹងទទួលខុសត្រូវតាក់ទង road asset management donor មកក្រុមនឹងឬក៏អ្នកនឹងទទួលខុសត្រូវអញ្ចឹងយើងឃើញថាវិធីការមួយបែងចែកគ្នាច្បាស់លាស់ក៏ប៉ុន្តែមិនមែននិយាយថាអ្នកណាដែលជួយខាងនឹងហើយឲ្យអ្នកដទៃទៀតមិនអាចចូលបានទេគាត់ថាឲ្យគាត់ leading បាទហើយ sir ដែលនិយាយទៅដល់ណែនៅក្នុងក្រសួងខ្ញុំឃើញមានការងារច្រើនដបទៀតដែរដូចឧទាហរណ៍ថាឬក៏កំណត់ថាហ្នឹងទៅ routine ទៅ periodic maintenance ទៅ rehabilitation ក៏យើងគួរតែមាន criteria មួយកំណត់ទៅតាក់ទងនឹងប្រភេទផ្លូវមួយ T1 T2 T3 តើចរាចរណ៍ប្រមាណដែលយើងកំណត់ថាហ្នឹងត្រូវធ្វើ routine maintenance ADT ប្រមាណដែលយើងកំណត់ថាហ្នឹងគួរធ្វើ periodic maintenance ថាហ្នឹងគួរតែយើងធ្វើឲ្យបានមុនយើងកំណត់ថានេះអានេះគឺជា routine maintenance ផ្អែកទៅលើចរាចរណ៍ប្រចាំថ្ងៃផ្អែកទៅលើcategory ផ្លូវលក្ខណៈដែលក្រសួងសាធារណការលោកបានធ្វើបើអត់មាននឹងទេយើងមិនអាចកំណត់ថាហ្នឹងជា routine ជា periodic maintenance អីបានព្រោះយើងអត់ដឹងថា traffic យើងមានបានផងហើយផ្លូវមួយដែលយើងកំណត់ថាប្រភេទ 1 ប្រភេទ 2 ប្រភេទ 3 ហ្នឹងតែកម្រិតណាដែលយើងកំណត់ថាជា periodic កម្រិតណាដែលយើងកំណត់ថាជា routine maintenance បើអត់មានការធានាហ្នឹងទេទោះបីជាយើងមាន system ក៏ដោយក៏យើងពិបាកកំណត់ថាប្រភេទដែលយើងត្រូវធ្វើ investment បាទ
Okay, thank you, Vesna. If no more question, comment, I would like to move to performance-based contract. I think for road asset management, we still need to further discuss and Yeah, and the project also has a component to support everybody to develop that. So if no more comment on that, I would like to move to performance-based contract. As you are aware, when we prepare this project, we take stock of lesson learned. Lesson learned is we talk about road management system. The country already facing budget constraint, so we need to find a way with limited budget how we can do more with less money. Right? That means how we can do with efficiency. So World Bank have explored different options to answer the question of how to improve efficiency. Among other options, we are talking about performance-based contract. So this my presentation. I want to talk about the performance-based contract type. And the difference between traditional contract and performance-based contract, why performance-based contract, and then the role of contractor and employer, the performance measure, and World Bank procurement document for the PPC and this sharing. Actually, the road activity we define under this project. We said that this will be implemented through performance-based contract. So this is very relevant to the project design. That's why I would like to talk a little bit on this. Performance-based contract. Actually, this is different from traditional contract. The contract in which payment for the management and maintenance of road assets are explicitly linked to the contractor successfully meeting or exceeding certain clearly defined minimum performance indicator or service level. Shortly, you can say that contract in which payment are linked to the contractor meeting performance indicators. So we will not pay based on cubic meter. This performance PPC pay based on the service level, the result, the output. Example of the payment. The contractor is paid for the output of his work. You're talking about IRI. This is the International Roughness Index, right? So we can set in the contract as a minimum. For example, if we set 3 meters per kilometer, right? The roughness index, right? So the contractor have to meet that level. If the maybe quarterly basis, if ministry or provincial authority inspect the road and the road roughness index higher than 3, so the contract should deduct certain amount. You know why? Because we need to build incentive into the contract so that the contractor will do better job during the construction and maintenance. And the second point is failure to comply with that performance indicator. It will affect the payment. As I mentioned, there should be an element for penalty if the contractor could not fulfill what mentioned in the contract, the service level not met, right? The payment can be done monthly or quarterly based on the discussion and the design. The traditional contract, actually you pay based on the quantity. You decide and you procure, and then the work done, and the payment based on the quantity, based on the cubic meter of the work done, how much soil or cement or asphalt used for the road. We just pay based on that, and with the supervision consultant to inspect whether the work up to the standard, right? It is specified in the contract, and then they just pay. But for the performance-based contract, the client, the ministry specify performance indicator as I mentioned, it can be service level, can be like a roughness index, can be a time response to the defect. For example, if the accident, if you in the contract say that contractor should also responsible to clear the accident. Also, if you also in the contract saying that contractor should also responsible for lighting, and also to making sure that they should not leave the pothole last longer than certain period of time. So this indicator you need to set in the contract, and if the contractor not meet the service level, they will be pay penalty, meaning that it will not full amount. That's different from the traditional. Traditional way is just to pay when they done, we just pay based on quantity. You know what happened in the traditional way? When the work done and contractor get paid, then they walk away. And then the road damage, maybe just a few years or maybe just 1 or 2 years after the end of the effect liability period. So government have to spend money to fix it, right? So in context of performance contract, there are two ways of doing things, right? You can combine the construction and maintenance together, and then after work done, you maintain something. It's a skin in the skin. Then I will talk about that. So it's incentive for the contractor to do the good job during the construction and also maintenance. Here is the type of performance contract. The pure performance contract, the one I just mentioned, you combine construction and maintenance together, and then you just pay based on the performance indicator or service level. If they not meet service level, there should be a clause in the contract to penalize the contractor, maybe certain percentage to be deducted, right? And then the hybrid can be like combine construction and maintenance. For the construction, just paid based on certain milestone or output, can be the work certified by supervision consultant and just paid. But the maintenance will be paid based on the service level. The performance contract have been used in many countries around the world, but named different in different countries. In Australia, New Zealand, Canada, they just say that performance specified maintenance contract, right? In Latin America, it's called CREMA, and in US, the Turkey Asset Management Services, and UK, DBFO. So it's called different names in different countries. This is what I wanted to explain. We also tried this in Laos. Actually, near Vientiane, the way we design project for 13 years. 3 years for construction and 10 years for maintenance. You can see that during the third year construction, actually World Bank will help government to finance 50% of the contract amount. The remaining 50%, assume that this is 80 million, the total contract value 80 million. World Bank pay 40 million during the construction, and then the remaining 40 million will be spread over the last 10 years. So the good thing is that government don't need to pay full amount during the construction. And secondly, you have skin in the game that the contractor, they still have a stake if the road fail. So actually, they have to spend more money to fix, right? Because this money will pay based on the service level indicator. This map shows performance contract have been used in many countries. The red color showing that it has been used in Australia. Entire country use PVC. Why performance contract? Performance contract have a lot of benefits, including reduced administration, less effort to measure the work. You don't need to bother about how to measure cubic meter or quality of each layer of work, right? But you measure the service level, as I mentioned, the IIR, the roughness index. If the road in good condition for the long period of time, meaning the road in good shape, then you pay. And also avoid claim, because performance contract can be like lump sum contract. So the contractor cannot ask for variation order Normally every contract, mostly I would say, you always come up with variation order. It can be like 30% of the contract amount. And also transfer responsibility to the contractor so that the contractor can bring in more innovative and improve efficiency for construction and maintenance. And also development of new industry and creation of additional job opportunity, right? World Bank has implemented profit-based contract for many years. So we have over time improved the bidding standard for this. The latest one is has been updated in January this year. You can download from the website. The responsibility, contractor responsibility under performance-based contract. Actually, the OPBRC expand the role of the private sector from the simple execution of work to the management and maintenance of road assets. Previously, the management starting from what we're talking about a road management system, right? We start to collect the data, then we need to plan, prioritize, and then budget, procurement, implementation. It takes a lot of time. When it takes a lot of time, the road already deteriorated, so we need to spend more money to fix. But for performance contract, we give the responsibility to the contractor. We pay lump sum, but long-term obligation. So contractor actually have a free way to improve efficiency. Contractor paid through fixed lump sum price to bring the road to the certain level of services. The bidder will present in the bidding document. So the bidder will ask to present how much that they would like government to pay. Can be like quarterly, can be like monthly basis lump sum. For the rehabilitation and improvement work, a lump sum amount indicating quantity of measurable output to be executed for the road to achieve the performance standard specified in the bidding document. Payment can be made in accordance with the progress in the execution of those measured output, include that in monthly and lump sum payment. Actually, here we're talking about the hybrid. So the improvement we can pay based on milestone for the improvement. Anyway, there's also a case of emergency repair because of the force majeure, right? When it comes disaster and extreme climate event that is beyond the control of a contractor. So there should be a provision in the contract that how the government pay to the contractor. Normally we can include BOQ or we can include the unit price in the contract and then just pay the contractor based on that unit price, like traditional way. What's the role of contractor and employer? The contractor, of course, they need to implement the contract based on the local legislation, based on what's specified in the contract. But the client or the ministry don't need to tell them where to do, how to do, and when to do. Leave it to the contractor. Let them be responsible for. And with that freeway, with that space, the contractor can improve the efficiency, can manage intelligently how to mobilize the resources as long as they meet the service level. The role of employer, the role of ministry or provinces, just to enforce the contract by verifying compliance with the agreed service level and also all applicable legislation and regulation. We have to make sure that contractor comply with the local legislation, right, apart from service level. That is the role of employer or the ministry. This is an example of service level. It can be like rough net, the rough net of the road. the routing on the road. You see normally when the road serve very heavy truck, so the road become rutting like big hole on the surface. That can also use to earth indicator. The skid resistance, meaning that if the road during the rainy time, right, it can be slippery if the skid resistance is low. So that could lead to the accident. So we have the contractors are also responsible. But if the road become very slippery, they need to do something. And also other thing here, just to show an example of service level that we can use to measure the performance of the contractor. Apart from those aspects, we also need to look at road durability measure like pavement strength, degree of sedimentation in the drainage facility. Management performance measure, the level of regular progress report, inventory update, and maintenance history. So we need to set minimum acceptable service level in the contract. This is very important. If we don't set this clearly, it will be a case during the implementation. The ministry may say that, oh, you not meet the service level. Contractor said, I already do my best. So very important to set the minimum service level. The minimum service level depends on many factors, right? It depends on where the road is. The road passing through urban or the rural or in the flat or hilly mountain. And if you set a perfect condition, very expensive, contractor can do it, but they need to mobilize more resources. We need to be more reasonable. So what we pay, we get what we pay, right? So the service level should be affordable and economic justifiable. We cannot ask contractor to do IRI-1. Even in US, it's difficult to get IRI-1, right? So it's 3 may be reasonable. And then contractor is responsible for the continuous monitoring, control of road condition and service level. One thing that Vesna highlight about overloading control is also important. If we not address overloading control, the contractor can point the finger to the ministry and provinces. They may say that I do my best, but very heavy truck, we do not decide this road for that certain axle road. So that could be a case. And then many countries have this program. In Brazil, the way they ignore overloading. Actually, they just address to the design, but very expensive because you design for very, very big truck, right? So the best way is that we need to manage overloading, and then the contractor should also feel more comfortable. If the heavy truck come and then they destroy the road, it's not their responsibility. They miss it like that. So what employer need to prepare? Employer need to have information on the road condition, and if for improvement and rehabilitation, also need to have to define the service level of the work, as I mentioned. Whether we need to have IRI 3 or 1. So whatever you set is different price that the contractor will ask for. Efficiency work, we need price, so that pay based on the actual implementation, and of course the standard, so that can be measured to make sure that contractor meet the minimum requirement. And this is about the risk. So actually, performance contract is about how we can manage the risk. To simplify, I just want to show here. Actually, risk can transfer to money. So the way that the best way to manage the risk is to transfer the risk to those who can manage, who is in the best position to manage the risk. So if we transfer all risk to the contractor, they can do it. but expensive. So some risk to be taken to manage by the government. So here you can say that the traditional way risk during construction and demand risk is about the traffic volume in case you have a toll road, right? In case of the toll road, you just public take care of everything, and also during maintenance performance. And then with OPBRC, this is a performance-based contract, contractor risk, private sector take care. And demand risk, this not totally toll road, right? Government may just transfer that to private, to government keep that risk, performance private sector. The ability payment is sort of performance contract, private sector take the risk. And and then another extreme is that the toll road. For the toll road, all is taken by the contractors. They build, they operate, and they collect the toll from the road user. If the traffic not materialize, is also there is. This is very actually applied to the green field when you build the new road, and then the contractor take responsible for all. That is the case of the toll road. This chart just show that moving from first account to the toll road, right? For the first account, this is with ministry, with the government. So, and then the toll, all this is transferred to the contractor. Actually, this is the picture.